Welcome to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Bandy, I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. I don't know why Deion Sanders needs to continue being in the news when it's not relevant at all. Right now, a lot of people talking about this Texas A&M job being open, and Deion Sanders being the perfect fit, Bandy.
Okay, well, first of all, everybody, welcome into the Morning Blitz. Bandiman, Captain Cool, brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Oh, yeah, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you guys check them out online at FlemingHSV.com. And remember that these guys always show up and that you can fill out your free quote over on their site and get everything set up. And honestly, I need a little bit of protection when it comes to, the roofing industry, because when it comes down to this weather that we're going to be getting, a lot of rain, a lot of, the weather's going to start dipping. You're going to need a reliable roof atop your head, and that goes for me as well, especially when we're doing these shows, because I don't want to be doing the show and then have like a crack in the ceiling. But thankfully, Fleming Roofing and Restoration has been on it, and they do a wonderful, wonderful job over there. But Bandy,
but what you're talking about sounds pretty relevant.
I mean, let me tell you, dude. Okay, I don't believe it's gonna happen. I think it'd be a little too soon for Texas A&M to be like, oh, we're just gonna jump on this wagon. It'd be the easy pick. Okay, it'd be too easy for this team, and I don't think anybody really, is thinking that this is a perfect fit. I mean, he's been a coach in the Power 5 for 1 year, and we think that he can come over to Texas A&M and do a wonderful job. Now, I'm saying this, okay, he would definitely have the resources. He definitely have the money to bring a lot of kids in, but, I mean, we saw what he was able to do at Colorado. He brings some people in. It's his first year. He wins 4 games, and it's looking fine, okay? It's looking okay. He's already making change in Boulder, but you look at, what Texas A&M wants right now. They didn't fire Jimbo Fisher because, he's doing a terrible job. He's doing an okay job. That's all he's doing. Texas A&M wants to find somebody who can instantly change this program right off the bat, okay? And if that's going to be Mike Elko, if that's going to be Dabo Sweetie, those are the questions right now that are being laid down. We don't know. And we're going to figure it out in the next few months, but right now they're going to ride with who they've got in the interim position. But Deion Sanders? Like, he just got hired as the Colorado head coach. Let us, simmer on this story for a little bit. Let him cook with Colorado first before we see him move to the SEC.
It's at the very least, wait until his son leaves.
Yeah, at the very least. I mean, which one?
What's your door?
No, there's
two?
There's 2 on that team. Yeah, there's one on the defensive side as well as one on the offensive side. 2. But this is what Deion Sanders had to say about this whole Colorado or Texas A&M thing. I don't know, man.
That you know of. That
parents who have X, I would imagine,
have come to me. I mean, you making an assumption. I want to know what parents have come.
Have any come to you? Do they say to you, what would you say to them if they said, are you going to coach my kid? Are you going to be here in 2-3 years to coach my kid? What do you tell them? What do you say to them?
I tell them what I told them when they came. I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Like I tell them my mother's here. My sister's here. My dog is here. My daughter's here. 3 of my sons are here. My other daughter comes during every home game. We're here. I get mail here. I claim taxes here. I pay taxes here. I'm sorry. I'm here. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. Maybe our recruiting staff hears it, but I don't hear it. I'm too honest, not with parents, and I'm going to tell them the truth.
I mean, he's going to be vague about it, of course, okay? I mean, you got to be vague about it. Even if, you have that in your wheelhouse of jobs that you might be able to go and get. I mean, you got to be, straight up vague about it, because you don't want to ruin the future of the organization that hired you on as your first Power 5 conference in the first place. You want to be vague about it, okay? That's exactly what he was doing. I mean, he straight up is just saying, I'm here. Okay, well, look, 3 weeks or 3 seasons down the line, is he still going to be there? That's what the people want to know, okay? And I don't think that he'll be there in 3 years. I do think he'll probably be there for another 2 years to try and cement this Colorado organization, try and make it his own. And then I think he'll be out of there. I mean, with Jackson State, you see what he's able to do with this organization. He does a fine job, okay? He goes 4-3 in his first season. That's COVID season, okay? That's why he doesn't get enough games, all right? Okay. He goes 11-2 in the next. and then 12-1 in the third season, okay? So at that point, he's finished out that season. He's finished out his time as that coach, okay? He moves on from the SWAC conference, gets into the Pac-12. What does he get? A Colorado team that's been crap all of history, I would say. I'm just going to say all of history since they've been in the Pac-12. And what can they do to change that? Well, keep riding with a guy named Coach Deion Sanders and move forward with him and see what your organization can do. I don't think Texas A&M is going to go out of their way to get Deion. And if they do, I think it would be a mistake because they're jumping on this hype train a little too early to see that if this relevant character is going to do the job, I don't think that's the case. They tried to do it last time. It was not the case. Jimbo Fisher did nothing for this organization except for kind of make them a meme because that $76 million buyout. Texas A&M's got the money. And I know Deion Sanders would love the money, but right now he's trying to create his own dynasty over in Colorado. And I think that's where he's going to stick for a while. But, Bandy, on top of that, man, it's also Thursday. This means we're getting a little bit into, the wacky underdog picks. And we're going to be talking about some of these games. And there's a lot of interesting ones to look at. On the flip side, the entire West is just taking the week off playing all these Joe Schmo teams that I don't even care about them. I'm not even going to look at them. But that also means you guys can still pick those teams because there's got to be at least one upset, Bandy,
Okay, well, you kind of can and you can't.
Okay.
Because we're going to have like an Army Holy Cross situation going on.
Yeah.
Because Alabama Chattanooga is not going to have a spread.
No, they do not.
Vegas will not have one.
Nope.
Not even until the day of.
Yeah.
Some of these will, though. Let me see if I can find...
At least find one of them, Bandy. At least find one of them.
UL Monroe and Ole Miss.
Nice.
Ole Miss is favored, but is minus 37.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I don't think I'd
How
go
much
after
faith do you have in UL Monroe?
I have none. I have none at all. Okay, I would stay away from that one, of course. Okay, going down the list, there's also the FIU matchup against Arkansas. This one's more reasonable. If Sam Pittman and this Arkansas team lose in this game, by the way, what's the spread on this one, Beatty, by the way? Because it's a little embarrassing, I would say. For one of the two teams, I would say it's embarrassing.
Let's see. Arkansas is favored minus 29.5.
Okay, 21.5. Sam Pittman. All right.
I don't think they're going to lose this game.
I don't think the spread is going to be. I think that I think that FIU is going to be able to cover the spread at least. All right. Chattanooga with their whole situation, that's going up against one of the best teams in the country. We got Texas A&M's team. Bandy, if you can even tell me
This
anything.
won't have a spread.
This one's not going to have a spread.
It's not going to have a spread.
Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian,
huh?
Yeah,
Huh.
Abilene Christian.
That's like Holy Cross going up against Army. Yeah,
I'd say it was a little bit bigger than that.
You say I would say that too. But again, Jimbo's gone. I mean, what is this Texas A&M team now?
I mean, that's probably better.
Yeah.
I mean, this might be a better A&M team going into this.
You know what is a one that I'd definitely look at? Mississippi State versus Southern Miss. In-state game right here.
Yeah, this one's a little more interesting. Mississippi State minus 14.
Southern Miss is terrible. To think that it's gotten so bad for Mississippi State. Golly, 14 points, guys. If Southern Miss somehow manages to win in their own state against Mississippi State, 14 points is going to go towards that wacky underdog pick. That will get you guys into Gunner's Landing with 2 as well as a cart included. That's a pretty good deal, I would say, Bandy. But we got a lot of other games to look at that are a little bit more interesting than these ones.
Talking about Georgia State, LSU?
I'm talking about Georgia State, LSU.
minus 31, LSU's favored.
No, Bandy, enough of those. We're talking about the Georgias versus the Tennessees. We're talking about the Washingtons going up against the Oregon States. We're talking about these matchups. Bandy, did you know Washington is currently sitting at a 2-point underdog at Oregon State? And maybe you could think, well, it shows you how busted this team is. Well, there's also other games that we could go to. There's a California-Stanford game. Ooh, we're gonna touch on that one. Only reason I want to do this is because they're the ACC's newest children come 2024. And honestly, they're not really children you'd really want to talk about. Yeah, because they're not very good right now. Stanford's sitting at a 6.5-point underdog. And Bandy, we got a lot more games to get into, but we do need to hop into a break. When we come back, we will continue with some of these games and talk about which ones you guys need to pick, as well as take your phone calls 256-5764.
97.7. We also had a lot I mean, the NBA kind of turned into the UFC last night a little bit. We had a lot of scrapping going on.
Really?
Including some I got Draymond Green suspended for 5 games, and I think it should be more.
Was it last night or the night before that?
Night before, my bad. Yeah, night
either
before.
one.
But he got suspended for 5 games. I think it should be more.
This week it's been a crazy time in the NBA. But we'll talk about that and more when we come back here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-251-2305. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-251-2305 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-251-2305 to see if you qualify. That's 800-251-2305.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Score big deals at Baumhauer's this football season and order from our Inflation Bites menu. Try our Buffalo Wing Special with fries and a complimentary beverage for only $9.99. And what's football without a cold beer? Our pitchers of Yingling and Yingling Flight are only $7.99, served all day, 7 days a week. And huddle up, football fans. Sign up today for our free NFL Pick'em contest at Baumhauers.com for weekly prizes. Baumhauers, legendary fun and legendary food.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed precision overhead garage door service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision overhead garage door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision overhead garage door service. Call 256-400-4500.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 70s, dropping into the upper 50s, lower 60s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through Friday afternoon. The day is certainly not going to be a wash. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. Some of us could see the lower 70s. Dropping upper 40s, lower 50s as we head into the overnight. A beautiful Saturday across the Tennessee Valley. We're talking about plenty of sunshine. Temperatures hanging out in the low and mid 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello and welcome back. John Abraham, Cam Cool alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery. Which one's that one?
Disco Ulysses.
Is that one you put on there? That was one you put down on the notepad. I don't know. It's not one that I've heard before. But either way, we've had a lot of fun so far here on the Morning Blitz. Bandy, we've looked at some of these wacky underdog picks. We've looked at this whole thing about Texas A&M and Stephen A. Smith just saying, oh, how amazing it would be to have Deion Sanders join this squad. That's not the route they're going to go. It's by far not the route they're going to go. But there's also a lot of fun that's going on tonight in the football world as the Bengals going up against the Ravens in Thursday Night Football, which is kind of upsetting. I'll say this is finally like a good matchup between some good teams, and you put it on a Thursday night. It's like, where'd this one come from? Why couldn't we have these all season long? Instead, we get the Bears versus the Panthers, and we don't want to watch that at all, which makes us not hyped about any other Thursday Night Football game. It's about time, though. It's about
You
time.
think we should start doing where like you have the schedule made out at the beginning of the year, but you save what games to put on prime time for later on?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe one of them. I mean, we talked about this last year. It's
I mean,
like the worst team stays in that Thursday night football slot.
It'd be tough to do it, but you know, with how much the Jets were in prime time this year, and it's like that was all banking on Aaron Rodgers playing throughout the season.
Yeah.
Unfortunate injury at the start, which apparently he's going to be making that kind of comeback before the end of the season.
I know. He's going to try.
The super Achilles surgery.
Yeah, it's pretty insane to see his recovery move so fast as he tries to return in late December. So that'll be something interesting to see. And I'll be happy to see it because, you know, I enjoyed the Hard Knocks that hyped up this season. And I talked about it. I said this is finally the best year the Hard Knocks could be. Because it's looking at a team that was going to be an underdog without Aaron Rodgers, and now with a hero in Aaron Rodgers, he'll come and kind of rejuvenate his career, and everybody will be like, well, you know what? Aaron Rodgers isn't that bad of a guy. I honestly thought, you know, he was one of the nicest fellas ever in that series, but who knows how he is personally. I think, you know, he's probably a little cryptic, like a Master Yoda or something like that. But we got some fun games also going down on Friday. Our last high school team, Madison Academy, will be going up against Mars Hill Bible. Mars Hill's coming into Madison Academy, okay? Bandy, I haven't got to see enough of Madison Academy this season, but I feel like you and Steve probably talk about your two playoff teams, the Randolph Raiders of Madison Academy. You know, I mean, how has this team looked?
I mean, really from the one game I was able to watch of Madison Academy this year was when they played Randolph early on in the season. I mean, it's an incredibly high-powered offense. I mean, and that's what these two teams are going to be bringing to the table because Mars Hill's kind of the same way. Like, if you let either of these teams snowball, and, I mean, it's really going to be who got the first stop. Kind of like in the Alabama-LSU game. Like, who got the first stop and who's going to keep snowballing their offense into a win.
Yeah, who's going to get that momentum all the way up in Madison Academy? Will have quite a bit of momentum going into it. And obviously, it's round 2 of the high school playoffs. They're going to be at home, and it's going to be a big matchup tomorrow night. Steve will be on the call. And then, you know, that's going to be, you know, round 2. Is Steve going to be on that call? Because there's also a UAH game going on against Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, Steve's going to be on that call because I'll be on the UAH basketball call.
There you go. Thank you, Bandy, for clarifying all of that.
Me and Scott Tyson will be bringing that to you on Friday.
Very nice. On Zone 3, and Zone 2 is for Madison Academy, and also we're going to have some Alabama basketball as well as they go up against Mercer. Alabama able to put up 300 points across their 3 games, and now they're going up against Mercer. Bandy, I expect a lot of the same stuff from this Bama team. It's just going to be a lot of the new guys coming in, Grant Nelson, you know, a lot of these dudes getting those points that, you know, really it's cleanup play right now. It's just, you know, you knock out these teams, you get onto the actual competition, and that's where, you know, we actually can find out whether this team is legit or not. And that'll definitely be something to look forward to. But tomorrow, again, Alabama versus Mercer. That will be on Zone 1 at 6 p.m. But, Bandy, we got some other college football matchups to kind of look at. One of them that I, you know, was delving into last night, you know, is this Washington versus Oregon State game, all right? Now, the Washington team, obviously, you're going to have a lot of eyes. You got Michael Penix Jr., a guy that's number 1. He's got all these wide receivers, very talented. Michael Penix knows how to throw it on the dot, okay? And there's a reason this team's 10-0, and I don't think they're struggling as much as people are saying. They obviously come off of a big win against Utah. They did have some close matchups against some questionable teams, but, I mean, they're still 10-0, and they're still looking really good against some better competition in the Pac-12. And to think that Oregon State, which I know a lot of people are riding with Oregon State as they are favored in this game, but to think that Oregon State's going to have a definitive victory against the Huskies is kind of something that I'm not riding with, despite me being a fan of Oregon State more than Washington, because honestly, I've been a low-key Washington fan for the last, I'd say, decade. But, you know, now that Oregon State's, you know, popping off, they've got DJU. I mean, it's just looking like a different type of program, and the way that they play football is so entertaining to me. And I got to say, Oregon State's definitely a team to eyeball, but if you guys want 2 points towards the wacky underdog picks, I would still ride with Washington in this one. I think they're going to win.
What I've got here, but look, I like this Washington team.
Mm-hmm.
They're on a timer though.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, because they have to win out. For what? More like Michael Penix Jr.'s Heisman odds are on a timer. Like, they have to win out. They have to beat Oregon twice.
Yeah.
This time with much bigger stakes. I just don't see them doing it, though.
Yeah, against Oregon State, though. I mean, this isn't the same competition.
I don't know. Oregon State has been sneaky good this year.
They have.
They're sitting at 8-2. They've been able to really get the upper hand on a lot of teams that, on paper, should have looked like they should have beaten them.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a few of the games that we go down, and I mean, you see the last game they played up against Stanford. Bandy, watch that game, and it'll show you kind of, the full front of this Oregon State team, because they were doing the most ridiculous things in all ways possible, whether it was passing, whether it was rushing. I mean, they were just able to take apart Stanford, which that's Stanford. But you look up against the matchup prior to that, it was a Colorado team that's been able to be competitive in a lot of these matchups. And, it was a little bit more of a struggle for Oregon State. They only win that one 26-19. Prior to that, you lose to Arizona, a team that I honestly think, if they were riding with Noah Fifita all season long, they would probably be one of those top 10 teams as well.
For one, they should be ranked.
Well, they are. Arizona's ranked currently.
Oh, for some reason it doesn't have a ranking for them on here.
Oh,
let me see.
I don't know what you're looking at.
Show them as a ranking after this week.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it might be out of the top 25, but hey, it should be back in the top 25. And they only lost by 3 to that team.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you look before that, beating UCLA, beating Utah, going down. I could see them doing it, but their 2 hardest games are back to back with this Washington and then going right up against Oregon.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them, and that Oregon game is a huge rivalry as it is in state, but it'll be fun to see. And you know what would be even better to see, Bandy? If Oregon State was able to do Alabama's dirty work and get rid of both Washington and Oregon, that'd be nice. Just get them out of the way.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
and I think we're going to get some competitive matchups here, okay? I think that Oregon State got a little bit of, they had a little bit of an easy week against Stanford. Colorado was a little bit more of a challenge. And now they're kind of going to get into that full front where they're actually going to show us exactly what they got. And I think that's going to happen against this Washington team. But again, I don't think they're going to have enough of those weapons to beat Washington, and I do think that Washington's going to cover that spread as well as win this game and give anybody who picks it 2 points, Bandy. That's just on me. That's just what I think about it, but definitely will be a lot of fun to see. But on top of that, Bandy, there's also the North Carolina-Clemson game. Now, I know this one has not a lot of implications towards this, playoff picture, but to look at these two teams and to see that North Carolina is currently 8-2, to see that they're ranked 20th in the country, and to see that they are a 6.5-point underdog, kind of feels disrespectful, but it's understandable. You're playing up against the Clemson team who, started off the season very shaky. It's been a wacky season because of this Clemson team playing so shaky, okay? The ACC has been thrown all over the place, and it's created this meltdown to make us think that Florida State's a lot better than they actually are, okay? Florida State's good, okay, but the ACC currently is not. You look at North Carolina, what they've got some weapons. Well, look at the last time these two teams played against each other. It was the ACC championship last season where, this Clemson team was able to pretty much take care of North Carolina with no problems at all. But Drake May's coming into this game looking for some revenge, okay? And I think going into Clemson and being able to do that is exactly what he wants to do. And I think that North Carolina is a pretty good underdog in this one, as they are 6.5-point underdogs that could go towards your wacky underdog pick points. On top of that, Georgia versus Tennessee. 27 straight wins going up against 14 straight home wins, okay? Just kind of think about that. Tennessee's got the home wins. Georgia's got this huge streak they've got going on. Now, I just, hope that it doesn't rain, because that was the big problem from last year that stopped Tennessee from playing so competitive. But Georgia was still able to do exactly what they want to do. Right now, there's no chance that Tennessee's going to win unless they play the football that they are accustomed to playing, which is running the ball and passing when you need to. Also, be able to open up some lanes for your quarterback, because honestly, they do need to do something in that position, okay? Joe Milton, he needs to get back on that train where he actually looks like one of the better quarterbacks in the league, as well as just the conference. So, because you're going up against a guy like Carson Beck, who may not be the most flashy quarterback, but is a very consistent quarterback, and he will win games similar to one Mr. Tom Brady I could probably throw out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. But currently, Tennessee is a 10-point underdog at Neyland Stadium. And what we're looking at is Dolly Parton going to be in the crowd. And honestly, I'd win it for her. Bandy. That's enough motivation right there. That's literally Tennessee's dream child right there. That's what Tennessee birthed to everybody. Is she from Tennessee? She's from Tennessee, right? Dixieland?
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't know the whole lore behind. I just know she's got a nice little amusement park that I have yet to go to, actually.
So I've never been either.
You haven't?
Nah, never have.
Bandy, you and me trying to go to Dolly World? Dolly World?
Can I be down?
Okay. What do they even got over there? Do they have, like, any cool roller coasters? Is it more like a Disneyland where it's just, like, kind of kiddish, to mid-teen type of roller coasters?
Yeah, Dollywood.
Dollywood, Dolly World, same thing.
I mean, yeah, same thing. It's like calling Cowboy Stadium Jerry's World.
Yeah. That's true.
But do you got all the water slides and stuff, lodging?
Oh, some lodging?
Yeah, hey, it looks pretty nice, like a park.
Typical
resort.
Typical Pigeon Forward type activities, I would say.
Yeah, theme park, water park, resorts. It's got everything, man.
I gotta try and get down there, man. Me and you, let's go. Dolly World. And then we can learn all the lore of Dolly Parton prior to this matchup. Another one that I'm looking at on top of this is going to be this SMU versus Memphis matchup. Now, I know you're thinking, well, why are you going out and doing this, American Conference, game right here? These are 2 8-2 teams going up against each other, and SMU may, look bad the way that they're, solid. They're a solid team, okay, I will say. But they may look bad that they sold pretty much everything to be a part of this ACC moving forward. But the product on the field has been consistently getting better throughout the years. And the thing about, this matchup is that both teams win their games that they're supposed to and lose the games that they're not supposed to, okay? However, Memphis is their toughest conference opponent yet. And honestly, this team has just kept it close with their competition all year long. And with SMU coming into their home, we should get more of the same in this one. I don't know, man. SMU is looked good, but being an 8-point favorite against Memphis, a team that is in the same conference, is sitting at 4th in the conference, and is sitting with the same amount of wins and against the same amount of competition, I think that this Memphis team is going to be able to get the upper hand, especially in Memphis, which I will be definitely watching this one very closely. Bandy, what about you, man?
I'm going to be watching the Alabama-Chattanooga one just because, hey, Alabama fan, come on, why not?
You gotta.
Louisville, Miami.
Really?
Miami, a 1-point favorite.
You always like to take these small ones,
Louisville. I mean, I'm seeing this one as pretty much a slam dunk if anyone wants to take it.
Just 1 point, though.
But I'm saying this is pretty much guaranteed.
I mean, right now we got well, that's fine, that's guaranteed. But you're just 1 point away from being to 0 points. I mean, look at Jason.
We only got 3 people on the board right now.
Jason's sitting at 7.5 points in the lead. Okay, he only got 1 win. All right, John got 1 win, with Clemson over Notre Dame. All right, he's sitting at 3 points. All right, how risky is it to get a point? Yes, you could probably ease up to that by taking a bunch of these one-spread games, but come on.
Okay, you know what? I can give you another 1-point spread game, but that might feel a little bit more exciting. Okay, now I'm seeing the ranking. Okay, thank you, ESPN, for finally updating.
Yeah, they're 19th.
Arizona, Utah.
Yeah.
Arizona, a 1-point favorite.
That one I will be watching. I will be watching that game. Do I think that Arizona is going to be able to keep up with the abilities that they've been able to? I don't think so. Not against Utah. This is a good Utah team, even with Bryson Barnes. This guy knows how to throw some dots, and I think he'll be able to do that against one Arizona. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that one. I'll go out of my way to watch that one, Bandy.
I know, but we're up against the time. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, you want to talk some basketball?
Yeah, we can talk some basketball.
We got some good local basketball going on, too, with Huntsville coming back against their game after their game against Montverde.
Yeah.
And we got to recap that. That's all coming up here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowery of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 70s, dropping into the upper 50s, lower 60s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through Friday afternoon. The day is certainly not going to be a wash. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. Some of us could see the lower 70s. Dropping upper 40s, lower 50s as we head into the overnight. A beautiful Saturday across the Tennessee Valley. We're talking about plenty of sunshine. Temperatures hanging out in the low and mid 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and Twitch. Just search 97.7 ESPN. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello and welcome back in, everybody. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey, Lowery. Hey, Bandy, you know, you talked about a little bit of this basketball stuff. I know last night or yesterday we did have a nice little matchup from a local team going down to Florida. Drew DeArmond stopped and went with them as well. And it was the Huntsville Panthers as they went up against the Montverde Academy Eagles, one of the best teams in the country when it comes to basketball. Bandy, this game was a lot closer than really anybody expected it to be. I mean, again, this is a team that has about 6 5-stars as well as, you know, a bunch of 4-stars and just kind of is looked at as one of those teams that's, you know, going to go on and win almost every single game, even when they're going up against teams like IMG and all those big academies scattered throughout the country.
Yeah, I mean, they still won. They still won against Huntsville High, but I mean, the Panthers actually gave them the best competition they've had so far this year. I mean, before they get prepped to go into like the Prep League Academy, they'll be facing IMG, all that with other top 5-star recruits that are going God knows where. But it was fantastic to see, like, just not only the exposure that the Panthers are getting, they put up fantastic competition. All the guys that have played that were on the squad watching the game, playing the game have all gotten better from this experience.
Oh yeah. And it is definitely a big experience for him. Yeah. I mean,
because going up against top-level talent of any kind, coming away from it is going to make you better.
Yeah, and I've already seen online and stuff, you look up this game and stuff, and you're going to get those videos, you know, that you see on YouTube of all the dudes going and watching and taking film and all that. It's huge exposure for a lot of these Huntsville players, and it's great to see, even though you might be going into a Lion's Den. I mean, you're still going to come out of there with a lot of experience as well as a little bit of highlight reels. Like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I like the way Huntsville High put it themselves, like with Huntsville basketball on Twitter. It's an L 3-1, but maybe the best L in school history, though. Battle competed for 32 minutes and didn't break. Caleb Harrison turned in a career-high 27 points with 7 rebounds, and Simon Walker added 15 points and 6 rebounds. Great trip and experience. Up next Monday versus WCA.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hey, you love to see it.
Gotta say.
But now kind of shifting over from high school basketball over into the professional world. I mean, did you see what happened with Draymond and Rudy Gobert? All that on Tuesday.
The whole, like neck hold, pull him back
Yeah.
because of the little scuffle that was going down.
Because I gotta go to bat for my Jazz man here.
Yeah, go for it.
Steve Kerr, why are you lying? We all saw the footage. Rudy did not have his hands around Clay's neck to just instigate that fight. If you see the video, Clay grabbed a hold of a guy's jersey. They're all fighting back. They got properly fined. Rudy gets in between them trying to distance some space. And then here comes Draymond Green out of something like WWE, puts him immediately in a chokehold like he's been waiting to do for years.
Oh, jeez. I love the troublemakers in the NBA world, I will say.
But I think what got me is that he's only getting suspended 5 games.
Well, 5. I mean, how many games do you think you should get suspended for?
At least 10.
At least 10?
Yeah, because this is the same punishment as like punching a guy.
I guess you're right. I mean, how many times has he done it too? I mean, this season.
Plenty of times.
This season, though. I mean, has he made any offenses this season?
I mean, not as egregious as a chokehold.
Okay.
I mean, this year. I mean, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But this isn't exactly something new with Draymond where he just wants to go out and just. I mean, they had the prediction because Steph wasn't playing that he's going to find some way to get ejected, and lo and behold, it happens.
That's hilarious that it actually all worked out the way we thought it would, Bandy.
God, just 2 of my least favorite players in the NBA, man. Just Harden, just pointing fingers at everybody, wondering why he's not. Somehow wondering how he's not the problem.
Yeah.
And then Draymond Green finding a new way to get ejected every other game.
That's the thing you've been focusing on, and honestly, it's an interesting storyline to go down. Another interesting storyline would be these Atlanta Hawks team. Okay. Now, they drop one to the Knicks last night. They fall to 6-5. But overall, I mean, we've seen some good ball out of the Hawks. I mean, you look down the line of which players are really providing the most help for it. And, I can't pronounce all of their names, Bandy, but I know that you're the basketball expert, so I'll leave it to you. But we do have a caller on the Flow hotline. Who do we got, Bandy?
We got Jason on the Flow hotline. What's going on, Jason?
Not much. How are y'all doing?
They're doing all right.
We're doing great.
Going up to bat for my 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. You talking about violence in basketball. Y'all are probably not. No, you're not old enough. But there was a player named Rudy Washington. You remember the old coach from the Rockets, Tom Bonovich? What was his name? Oh, God.
I'm leaving it to Bandy here. I'm leaving it to Bandy because he's the basketball guy, okay? He knows stuff even past his life.
Hey, just a little bit. I think my knowledge goes to about like the 80s.
Okay.
Tom Bonovich or something like that. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's black-headed, and he was coach for Rockets. He won a title with Robert Horry.
Yeah.
When he played. Have you ever seen the punch put on him where Rudy Washington got suspended for the year?
Yeah, I did. And wait, is that the
That
one
was
where
similar.
that's not the one where the guy landed on the back of his head, right?
Yeah, and I mean, knocked him out, broke his jaw, and put him out for the year.
Golly, it's not like hockey. I mean, you're able to fight in hockey. I mean, it makes sense. But whenever you're on these like hard surfaces, I mean, that's a different story. You're not slipping around. You can't tug and pull.
Yeah, you're not padded to like.
It's just fist fighting. It's pretty much street fighting. I mean.
Right.
Yeah, but
he broke his jaw. The guy turned around on Bonovich, and when he did, he just punched him right in the face. I mean, put him out.
Golly. Either way, Jason, you got any underdog picks for this week? You didn't hit on your last one, but there's a lot of intriguing games.
Yeah, I'm going to have to study. I'll give you one tomorrow night. And you was talking about the Huntsville basketball team. That team they played last night, do you think Alabama A&M or UAH could play with them?
I mean, yes, 100%. I mean, they're not on the level of a college team. It's still high school ball.
Yeah,
like, you're going two completely different levels.
I would say it's similar to, I mean, you see the depth on a college team. Those are guys that all were able to make it, and although they're not all 6 stars, I do think that they're, going to challenge a high school team a little bit better just because of the experience, because of being able to make it past high school and make it onto a college team. But I do think it would be close. It's not like the same that would be like an NFL team going up against a college football team.
Yeah, it's there's a difference between being committed there and then actually actually playing college ball.
Yeah.
Hey, I watched the team speed. I mean, if Huntsville made 2 passes, they were not getting a shot off. They were so quick on defense.
Yeah, it was a good
I don't
team.
know if it's the height and speed that makes the difference, but they were quick.
No, they got a lot of high talented players over there in Florida, I will say.
Yeah, that's what's gonna be fun though. I mean, like 2 of those guys. I mean, one's committed to Baylor, one's committed to, I believe, to LSU.
One was committed to Duke.
Well, that's Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
He is committed to Duke.
Is he still committed to Duke?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if anything changed with that.
He had a brother out there last night, a younger brother.
Bandy, you're gonna have to look up on this stuff. You gotta be able to challenge Drew with the basketball knowledge. But Jason, is that all you got? You got anything to leave us with?
Oh, Herb Jones, the best player in the NBA.
Yes. Love it.
Good pick right there. Good stuff from Jason.
He's gonna be right up there when it comes to just being in the running consistently for Defensive Player of the Year. Herb Jones, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to what Jason's got for us tomorrow on the Wacky Underdog picks as well. I like how he's throwing us a little bit of basketball today. But to go to the football tomorrow again, that's the stuff I'm siding with. Although I'm getting into that basketball mindset, Bandy, I've been watching film. There's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out of the basketball world, but still, this football playoff thing has consumed me. I need to figure out the formula that I have to put down to see how all these teams that I want to make the entire playoffs, okay? Alabama's going to go up against Georgia. Could Georgia still make it if Alabama gets the win? Could they still go in as a 4th seed and still play? Because honestly, if it's a close game, I think Georgia's able to, make it in as the 4th seed and still play some good level football.
I mean, you're going to need some help for that to happen, though. I mean,
obviously.
If Alabama beats Georgia and they're still trying to get in, I mean, they're going to need Florida State to lose.
Yeah. And I don't see that really happening unless it goes to the ACC championship. But, again, I don't think any of those teams are going to be able to compete against that high-level Seminoles offense. But we got to hop to a break, Bandy. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit of PGA golf and one Mr. Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. So don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flosa Premier. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flo tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flo, think fun for everyone.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 977 ESPN The Zone.
I feel like the Chuck Oliver show. With this one's starting off. Good stuff. Good stuff, baby. We got some golf to talk about, and to kind of help us talk about the RSM Classic at the Sea Island Seaside Course, where Russell Knox is currently leading. It's one Mr. Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. John, how you doing, man?
I'm fantastic this morning, my man. Sitting behind my desk, ready to talk some golf with some of my good boys.
Good stuff. Let's kind of talk about this course right off the bat. I mean, a lot of low scores so far. Kind of just talk about it through 7. You know, what is really halting these golfers in trying to hit those shots that they really want to get?
Right. So to start off, to talk about the course, the first thing that happened, there was a rain delay.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a rain delay today, so you got to take into account this is also in Savannah, Georgia, or St. Simons, sorry. This place is right on the sea, so it's windy, and it rains, so it's wet out there. So these guys are trying to battle through all these rough conditions, not only the course, but with the weather, you know. Yeah. So that's what's halting these guys right now. And also these courses are not easy. So this tournament this weekend actually takes place on two courses here inside the Sea Island Golf Club. And it's at the Plantation course and the Seaside course. And both of these courses are not very long, but they're testing. There's water everywhere. There's not much room of error if you're driving the ball bad. And these greens, these are Bermuda greens, and they're super quick. It's funny, I've actually played on one of the courses, not either of these two, but the retreat course that is here at the Sea Island Golf Club back in my freshman year of college. And let me tell you, it's not an easy place. If you're not accurate with your long irons, so let's say like 200-plus yards out, you're not going to be able to come out here and win this tournament. That's what this courses are all about down here at the Sea Island Golf Club, is most of these par 5s are reachable. So you're going to see most of these players, if they don't have that good long-range game, trying to hit these 200-yard-plus shots in close to proximity to get some good putts, you're going to be seeing low scores. But over the past years, yes, the winning averages has been around 19 under at this tournament, this venue. So you can see some low scores, but depending on what this weather has to throw at these guys, we'll see what they do. But I want to go over the number one player I want to look at this week, guys, and it's going to bring me down to Ludvig Agberg. And if you ever heard of him, he's a Swedish guy. He's still in college, and he's the number one player in the PGA Tour University class so far. And as of right now, he is on the race for the PGA Tour 2023 Rookie of the Year award with Eric Cole. So you're going to see a good little battle between them this week, seeing who can play the best, who can get in the top 5 here, because this also means a Masters invitation next year for Ludvig Agberg. So we're going to see what he can do this week. He's a great player, and if you know him, he's like 6'6". He can hit the ball He stripes it, and we know his long iron game is good. So we see if we can bring that this week and see if he can do well.
Yeah, but I'd say like one of those. I mean, one of these courses is playing a par 70, the other one a par 72. So like those long irons are going to be even more into play with those. Like,
Absolutely.
Like those long par threes.
Yeah, I'd say I was about to say these par threes are very challenging, and some of them are over water. And when it comes to you're on the sea, so it's windy. The club selection is going to be super, super important and key for these guys. And shot shaping when it comes to scoring here. These par threes are really challenging. So, and trying to land it, this rain does help them soften the greens for them a little bit, so they can bring these long irons in better. But when it gets sunny out there and it's windy and it dries up, these par threes are challenging, especially the ones over water. You can't land them short. You have to hit them high. You have to have good shot shaping when it comes to playing well here. And don't forget about the flat stick. You have to be a good putter. These greens are extremely fast. If it's anything like the resort course at this club, so you're going to take in consideration if these guys are not putting well, you're not going to see low scores this week. So
definitely going to keep up with this one all throughout the weekend, John. Very fun stuff going on in Georgia. But kind of moving over, John, we talked a little bit about this before the show, a little bit of these wacky underdog picks. You picked Holy Cross last week, and a lot of people probably looked at you like you were a little strange for that one, but it ended up being 17-14. Really, a really close game. Looking at the games now, it came back. I mean, Army was doing well at the beginning, but if you've watched Army football, they fall off at times, and that's why Holy Cross was able to come back. But looking at this weekend's slate, John, to get you in today to the wacky underdog picks, you're currently sitting at second. What are you going with now?
Well, there's two games I'm looking at right now, and it's I talked to one of my guys. I'm not picking any of those.
Okay.
To get one of my boys I talked to this morning, but the two games I looked at, I kind of want to get your opinion on these two games.
Okay.
All right. I'm going with the Wake Forest to Notre Dame or the Clemson to UNC.
Okay. I would probably go with the UNC Clemson matchup first with that, because I think it's just a lot more challenging, I would say, for Clemson to beat UNC than Wake Forest upsetting Notre Dame. I believe Notre Dame's getting they're at home this week, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I believe it's a spread of like 24. Might be a little.
Clemson's at home, so that's why I'm picking my boys. I think I'm going to have to go with Clemson to beat UNC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Notre Dame's at home minus 24.5 against Wake Forest.
Well, here's the thing, John. Looking at that Clemson North Carolina game, I believe that North Carolina is actually the underdog in this game.
That is tragic.
Yeah. But you could still go with UNC, or you could just call in tomorrow and give us your pick once you think about it. I know it's a strange week in college football. There's not a lot of good matchups to really look at, except for some of these wacky ones in the conferences.
This is the case. We're going Tennessee then. We're going Tennessee to beat number 1 Georgia.
That might be worse than the UNC call. But you know what? We'll put you down for it because it's 10 points, okay? That's more than the other games could have got you. And I don't think Wake Forest is going to have the mustard to be able to beat the Fighting Irish. So we're going to put you down for that one then. Go Vols for you, I guess.
But go Vols, baby.
It's going to be definitely a tough challenge. But, John, we appreciate you hopping on with us, man. Tell the people where they can find you.
Absolutely. You guys can find me down at Union Grove, Alabama at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. I myself, besides Rob Taylor, the head pro, we do great lessons. We do private lessons, group lessons, whatever you need. It's a great place to come out and see us.
Good stuff, John. Can't wait to talk with you again, man.
Yes, sir, boys. Y'all be good over at 97.7 ESPN.
Good stuff. Jonathan Liggett. Either way, Bandy, we've had a lot of fun today, and it's time to get out of here. But, again, keep these wacky underdog picks in mind, because that's what me and Bandy will be looking at tomorrow as we talk with two amazing guests. One of them, Drew DeArmond, the other one covering Mizzou football. Definitely interested to hear what he's got to say about his team. But that's what's coming up 22 hours from now. Me and the Bandiman on a fun Friday here in No Man's Land here on the Morning Blitz. See you.
Injuries at work happen all the time in Alabama. So do motor vehicle and slip and fall accidents.